Police reports detail a series of brutal attacks on women in London's East End that autumn, leaving authorities searching for an unidentified killer known only by a chilling nickname. The canonical victims include Marianne Nichols, found on August 31, followed by Annie Chapman on September 8, both with distinctive throat and abdominal injuries according to Contempo. Her body lay in Bucks Row with deep cuts to the neck and torso, prompting immediate concern among local officers about a single perpetrator operating in the district. Found in a backyard off Hanbury Street, her injuries showed similar patterns, leading investigators to link the two cases under one ongoing inquiry. On September 32, more victims are attacked within an hour, prompting heightened patrols and public alarm across the city. The final canonical killing occurs November 9 inside Miller's Court, with extensive injuries that intensify the manhunt for the unknown assailant. Several communications, including the Dear Boss letter, are received by news agencies and police using the name Jack the Ripper for the first time. Scotland Yard coordinates with local divisions while offering rewards and consulting medical experts on wound patterns from the attacks. Dozens of individuals, including local residents and outsiders, are detained and released as evidence fails to produce a conclusive match. Despite extensive files and ongoing analysis, the perpetrator is never identified, leaving the Whitechapel murders an enduring historical mystery. Stay informed with factual updates on historical cases and hit the subscribe button to receive new investigations as they develop. Further details from inquest testimonies reveal specific timelines and witness statements that shaped early theories without confirming any single suspect. Medical examinations documented precise locations of injuries, providing critical data for linking separate incidents across different dates. Public reaction grew intense as newspapers published daily updates, increasing pressure on investigators to deliver results quickly. Geographic concentration of attacks centered on a small area of Whitechapel, guiding door-to-door inquiries by constables. Forensic limitations of the era prevented definitive conclusions, despite thorough collection of physical evidence at each scene. Community vigilance committees formed to assist police patrols during evening hours in affected neighborhoods. International press coverage amplified the story, turning local events into a global topic of discussion and speculation. Official reports cataloged victim backgrounds, highlighting shared circumstances among the women targeted. The absence of clear motive complicated efforts to profile the offender based on traditional criminal patterns. Later analyses revisited original witness accounts to reassess possible escape routes taken after each incident. Cultural impact persisted through books, plays, and documentaries exploring the unresolved questions surrounding the case. Archival preservation of original documents allows modern researchers to examine primary sources directly. Comparative studies with other contemporary crimes helped rule out connections to unrelated incidents elsewhere. The case prompted reforms in how police handled serial investigations in densely populated urban areas. Ongoing academic interest focuses on social conditions that may have contributed to vulnerability in the district. No single theory has gained universal acceptance among historians studying the available evidence. The nickname itself originated in correspondence and quickly became synonymous with the unknown offender. Victim identification relied heavily on personal effects and testimony from acquaintances in the community. Seasonal weather conditions during the period affected visibility and response times for responding officers. The investigation file remains one of the most studied collections in criminal history archives. Public fascination continues to generate new publications examining every aspect of the original inquiry. Cross-referencing with census data provides context on population density in the affected neighborhoods. The rapid sequence of events created a sense of urgency that influenced resource allocation by senior officials. No murder weapon was ever recovered, despite extensive searches of the surrounding areas. Witness reliability varied, leading investigators to prioritize consistent details across multiple accounts. The case highlighted challenges in coordinating between metropolitan and city police jurisdictions. Later, forensic techniques applied retrospectively have not yielded definitive new identifications. The social stigma attached to the victims complicated efforts to gather complete biographical information. Media competition drove sensational reporting that sometimes outpaced verified facts from official sources. Surviving photographs of crime scenes offer rare visual records from the original investigation period. The absence of a clear pattern in victim selection puzzled detectives throughout the active phase. Community fear led to temporary changes in daily routines among residents of the East End. Official correspondence between departments reveals the scale of administrative effort involved. The final victim received the most extensive post-mortem examination of the series. Public meetings demanded answers and accountability from local leadership during the crisis. The investigation introduced new procedures for handling anonymous tips from the public. Geographic profiling attempts in later decades used original scene data to test hypotheses. The case file closure marked a shift toward recognizing limits of available investigative tools. Educational programs now use the case to illustrate evolution of criminal investigation methods. The enduring mystery continues to prompt respectful remembrance of those affected by the events. Detailed timelines reconstructed from multiple sources clarify the sequence of reported incidents. Local businesses reported changes in foot traffic as residents avoided certain streets after dark. The medical examiner's reports provided the primary basis for connecting the separate attacks. Community leaders appealed for calm while urging cooperation with ongoing police inquiries. The scale of the search area required coordination among hundreds of officers on the ground. Surviving court transcripts offer verbatim accounts of testimony given during inquests. The lack of recovered property from victims suggested a non-monetary motive in the attacks. Later, historical reviews examined possible links to other unsolved cases in nearby regions. The case prompted early discussions on the need for specialized detective training programs. Archival photographs of the victims provide rare glimpses into their lives before the events. The investigation's duration extended well beyond the final incident as leads continued to be pursued. Public reward offers attracted numerous tips, many of which required careful verification by officers. The social context of poverty in the area was noted in official summaries of the case background. No definitive handwriting match was established from the received correspondence samples. The case file includes detailed sketches of injuries prepared by attending physicians. Community support networks emerged to assist families impacted by the series of incidents. The investigation's methods reflected standard practices of the time before modern forensic science. Ongoing interest from researchers ensures the original documents receive careful preservation treatment. The absence of additional attacks after November reduced immediate pressure on the investigation team. Historical analysis continues to explore every documented lead from the original inquiry records. The victims' inquests produced separate verdicts that collectively pointed to one responsible party. Local newspapers maintained detailed logs of police activity throughout the autumn months. The case highlighted the difficulties of identification in transient urban populations of the era. Official statements emphasized the need for public patience during the extended inquiry period. The investigation's legacy includes improved record-keeping practices for major cases thereafter. Surviving personal correspondence from investigators reveals the human element of the prolonged search. The geographic focus remained tightly concentrated, allowing for intensive coverage of the district. Community meetings provided forums for residents to share observations with authorities directly. The case file remains accessible to qualified researchers under strict archival guidelines today. The events prompted early consideration of psychological profiling concepts in criminal cases. Local trade suffered temporary declines as fear kept many residents indoors after sunset. The investigation incorporated input from medical professionals across multiple specialties. The final report summarized all leads pursued and noted the lack of conclusive evidence. The case continues to serve as a reference point for studies of historical criminal investigations. Public records of the inquests provide the most reliable primary source material available. The absence of additional similar incidents afterward allowed the inquiry to wind down gradually. The victims are remembered through dedicated historical markers in the affected area today. The investigation demonstrated the value of systematic documentation in complex cases. Community resilience eventually restored normal activity levels in the neighborhood. The case file includes extensive correspondence from concerned citizens offering assistance. The events influenced subsequent police procedures for handling serial incidents in London. The investigation's thoroughness is evident in the volume of statements collected from witnesses. The case remains a benchmark for evaluating the effectiveness of 19th century policing. Local residents formed watch groups that operated alongside official patrols for several weeks. The investigation concluded without charges, but preserved all evidence for potential future review. The story continues to attract scholarly attention from historians and criminologists worldwide. The victims' stories are preserved through careful archival work and public education efforts. The case file serves as a primary resource for understanding urban crime in the Victorian period. The investigation's methods and outcomes continue to inform discussions on criminal justice history.